Hey, what's up? It's Adrian here, CEO of Modern Producers. A lot of you guys know me by my producer name, Anno Domini. Maybe you've even heard of our multi-platinum production team, Anno Domini Nation. So if you know anything about me, you already know I'm passionate about really elevating the music production community and actually helping my fellow producers. So I wanted to shoot this quick video for you in the hopes of really inspiring you and giving you some valuable insight and context about success in music. I've personally been really blessed to enjoy a long and successful career in music, but what you might not know is that at least 80% of my success in this industry wasn't really due to talent or determination or a belief in myself or some motivational crap like that, but simply the sounds that I was using in my productions. I actually have a great many well-known producer friends that feel the exact same way. We weren't necessarily the most talented, the best at marketing, or the best at networking, and you wouldn't necessarily call us pioneers in the production game, but we became successful by having access to the right high quality and popular sounds at the right point in time in music. And honestly, it kind of feels like a dirty little secret saying that out loud, but that's the truth. And that simple fact afforded me a lot of amazing opportunities and freedoms as a music producer. Of course, I infused my own creativity and editing and so on into the process too, but at the end of the day, it was all about using the right sounds. And that's the success recipe I actually want to share with you today. Because at Modern Producers, our mission really is to level the playing field between the professional producers and those, multi-million high-end studios, and then just the everyday working producer trying to come up. Over the past 15 years, I've worked with many of the biggest artists in the world, people like Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Tech Nine, Wu-Tang Clan, Eminem, Rick Ross, Skrillex, but also companies like Nike, Adidas, Coca-Cola, the NFL, NBA, UFC, and many, many more. And I've actually also had the pleasure of working in studios around the world with some of the biggest all-time producers. And I really worked my way up from being, I guess, a small-time internet producer to running a global multi-platinum production company. So honestly, sometimes I still can't believe how far I've actually come from the early days of making beats on this crappy hand-me-down laptop at college. And it really blows my mind. I basically went from being broke to living the life I always envisioned for myself, the life of my dreams, and I'm eternally grateful for that. But between you and I, what gets me the most excited today isn't working with big shot artists or big deal labels, but actually directly with the music production community, with my fellow producers, with you guys. Because us here together are actually the fastest growing community of music producers in the entire world. And it's grown from like a couple hundred producers in the early days to over 110,000 today, and we're growing every single day. Our community here is actually the most awesome thing I've ever been a part of. I mean, I just love the mutual support, I love the respect, collaboration, and it's really amazing to see all of the incredible things that have come from it, from contest winners to artist placements, success stories, and more. And the values that we've developed together as a community, it's just great to see producers having each other's back, really promoting each other's work, sharing opportunities and knowledge, coming together and actually working together instead of against each other. And that's really the way to come up. That's the value I want to instill. I've always believed in sharing and in collaboration, and actually seeing those values reciprocated really made me reflect on what it means to even be a producer and to be a part of this community. So something I take great pride in is I don't tell myths or fairy tales when it comes to why I or my team and other multi-platinum producers I know are successful. So let me share this with you right now. And maybe you've heard me talk about this before, but what we all have in common, me and these other platinum producers, is that we're driven by what I call the 3 freedoms of platinum producers. And those freedoms actually stem directly from the sounds that we use. So let me explain why. First of all, having access to the right sounds allows us the freedom of creativity. We're consistently being creative and never suffer from beat blocks or anything like that, because inspiration is always there instead of the dread of demotivation because we can't find the right sound. Now, I don't know if you can relate to this, but when I first started getting into production, I would sometimes spend weeks and maybe months putting nothing together because I felt stuck with the same crappy factory preset sounds in my music software. So I was just completely uninspired. And it wasn't for lack of trying or working hard or something like that. It took me a long time to realize that what was actually holding me back was actually the tools and the sounds at my fingertips. You know, my very first placement I ever got with Vinny Paz. Do you know him, by the way? He's sort of the front runner of Jedi Mind Tricks, one of these big underground hip hop groups in the late 90s. So that placement actually came about by him hearing a beat that I released on my MySpace page. The good old days of social media, right? The funny thing is, I created that beat entirely using pre-made sounds from just one producer kit that I was using at the time. And that right there was actually the foot that I placed into the door of the industry. So pretty crazy, right? Secondly, the freedom of speed, because me and a couple platinum producer colleagues of mine, we can put out productions and hit songs really, really quickly, and that's because we have a constant stream of material and sounds we can work with, which of course our customers appreciate. If you actually go on the Anno Domini website or my YouTube, you can see there's material literally going up every single day. And among other things, that's helped me to attract over 120,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is also a big revenue source for me. And it also earned me this nice plaque on my studio wall right there. So the cool thing is having sounds means ideas keep coming, beats keep appearing, and the sales are rolling in permanently. So one of the biggest factors for my personal success was the amount of content that I was putting out. And not just quantity, but quality too. So finally, thirdly, the freedom of financial independence is really important too. And this one is actually kind of twofold, because on the one hand, having access to the right sounds means you don't have to spend a small fortune on expensive hardware or, you know, an ever-growing pool of these subpar kits or something like that. I mean, I don't know about you, but I must have spent tens of thousands on pointless purchases until I actually realized I just need like a small amount of really high-quality go-to sounds. Now, on the other hand, having the right sounds means my beats are always in demand, and I and a select few other producers almost have an unfair advantage over others that gives us access to a big majority of the market. I think in my best month I made something like $89,000 just selling beats online. What would you do with that kind of money? I'm curious. And like I said, you can still be creative with using sounds, but if you're using these outdated, low-quality sounds that nobody's seeking out, then your sales are going to reflect that. For me, actually minimizing my costs and maximizing my revenue has meant that I can do a ton of cool stuff, like moving from the UK to Los Angeles, where I'm at now, starting up a bunch of businesses, getting married, having a baby, maybe you can hear him in the background sometimes, buying 5 houses, and all this kind of cool stuff. And I'm not saying that to brag or anything, I just want you to see the possibilities of what's actually possible as a producer if you focus on the right things. Alright, there you have it then. The bottom line is the importance of having the right sounds and the freedoms that they afford me and other platinum producers. And I'm actually curious what you think. Do the 3 freedoms, the freedom of creativity, freedom of speed, and freedom of financial independence drive you too as a producer? And which one motivates you the most? You can actually leave me a comment under this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, if you resonate with the 3 freedoms, I actually have some really cool news for you too. Because on Sunday, the 18th of October, I'm going to be releasing something very special. I'm calling it the Platinum Producer Bundle 2020. And I did something like this for producers once before a long time ago, and our community just absolutely loved it. So since this year hasn't been that great for a lot of producers, I really just wanted to go all out and do something really special to finish the year strong. And I'm actually going to be giving away my very best exclusive sounds that I'm using today, that all of my producer colleagues, my platinum producer colleagues, are using as well. That way you're going to be on the same playing field as the other big producers. And as I mentioned, I really value this community of producers we built up together, and I think it's only fair to share with you guys in the success and the freedom. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you click on the link under this video and actually put your name on the early access waitlist. Realistically, I mean, as much as I'd want to, I just can't send out this sound bundle to everyone in our massive community at this point without blowing up our download server. However, everyone on the early access waitlist will have a much higher chance to get the Platinum Producer Bundle 2020 the day before it officially launches. So just make sure you place your name on the early access waitlist. Just click on the link, fill out the form. It takes like 5 seconds. Enter your name and your email, and then you're going to be having reserved access, early access to the bundle. Now, I'm going to be sending you another video in a couple days, maybe 3 or 4 days, and I wanted to share with you some more stories from myself and my producer colleagues that will hopefully serve to help you and inspire you, and perhaps take your production game to new heights. So anyways, I'll tell you about it soon. Keep an eye out on your inbox, and that's all from me for now. Have a productive day, and I'll talk to you real soon.